bathing?" the girl said, misunderstanding, or in the old man's view, pretending to. "I'm getting me a tan. Mama's hanging out clothes and Daddy's round here somewhere." "I mean, what are you even doing here? Why are you here?" The girl put her sunglasses back on and turned her oiled face to the weight of the sun. "We live here," she said. "That can't be. I live here. This is my place." "You better talk to Mama," the girl said. Behind the opaque lenses of the sunglasses, perhaps her eyes were closed. Meacham turned. The woman was crossing the yard toward him. He noticed with a proprietary air that the grass needed cutting. He'd been gone less than 2 months and already the place was going to seed. "Ain't you Mr. Meacham?" "I certainly am," the old man said. He leaned on his walking stick. The stick was made to represent a snake, and the curve he clasped was an asp's head. "I don't believe I've made your acquaintance." "I'm Mrs. Choate," she said. "Ludy Choate, Lonzo's wife. You remember Lonzo Choate?" "Lord God," the man said. "We rented this place from your boy." "The hell you say?" "Why, yes. We got a paper and everything. We thought you was in the old folks' home in Perry County." "I was. I ain't no more. I need to use the telephone." "We ain't got no telephone." "Of course there's a telephone. We always had a telephone." The woman regarded him with a bland, bovine patience, as if she were explaining something to a somewhat backward child. There was a curiously blank look about her, the look of the innocent or the deranged. "There's one, but it don't work. You can't talk on it. It ain't hooked up or something. You need to talk to Lonzo. He'll be up here directly." "I'm an old man," Meacham said. "I may die directly. Where is he, and I'll just go to him." "He's down there in the barn fixing tar." Choate was in the hall of the barn, and he seemed locked in mortal combat with the flat tire. He was stripped to the waist, and he was wringing wet with sweat. His belly looped slackly over the waistband of his trousers, but his shoulders and back were knotted with muscle. He had a crowbar jammed between the tire and the rim, and he was trying to pry it free. Then he held the crowbar in position with a foot and tried to break the tire loose from the rim with a splitting hammer. Meacham noticed with satisfaction that it showed no sign of giving. When the old man's shadow fell across the chaff and straw and dried manure of the hall, Choate looked up. Some dark emotion, dislike or hostility or simply annoyance flickered across his face like summer lightning and was gone. Choate laid the splitting hammer aside and squatted in the earth. He wiped sweat out of his eyes and left a streak of greasy dirt in the wake of his hand. Meacham suddenly saw how like a hog Choate looked. His red porcine jowls and piggy little eyes, as if as time passed he had taken on the characteristics of his namesake. "You not got a spare?" "This is a spare. I believe I know you. You're Lawyer Meacham's daddy. We heard ye's in a nursing home. What you doing here?" "I didn't take to nursing," Meacham said. "Is it true that Paul rented you folks this place?" "He damn sure did, a 90-day lease with the option to buy." The old man felt dizzy. He was almost apoplectic with rage. He felt he was going to have a seizure, a stroke, some kind of attack. The idea of Choate eating at his table, sleeping in his bed, was bad enough. The idea that he might own it, call it his, was not to be borne. "By! You wasn't ever nothing but a loafer. You never owned so much as a pair of pliers. That's my wrecking bar and my splitting hammer right there, and if you think you can buy a farm this size with food stamps, you're badly mistaken." Choate just shook his head. He grinned. A drop of sweat beaded on the end of his nose, fell. Blackheads thick as freckles fanned out from his eyes, and there were black crescents of dirt beneath his fingernails. "You still's contrary as you ever was. You remember the time I tried to rent that little old tenant shack from you? No, you wouldn't rent it to me. Ain't life funny? I never rented that house to anybody. It was built too close to the main house to begin with, and there wouldn't have been